And I want to thank my son, who was introducing you guys into coming in. So thank you, Theodis. Now, what you have in your hands is a couple of handouts. This handout right here that says MAD 2018 Rolodex. If you guys want my actual Rolodex of outsourcers and virtual assistants, these people can do everything from web hosting, design, optimization, logos, call centers, you name it, free of charge. Just follow information on this handout and you'll get that. Secondarily, we have another one, and this one is, where is it? The playbook. The 100K playbook. That has all of the documents I use in my business, contracts, scripts, email campaigns, marketing stuff. My actual business plan goes from the point of creating a business to the point of presenting it to a bank. I mean, contractors' documents, the whole 9 yards. That's the 100K playbook. So take that in mind. That's free of charge for you guys. Thank you for coming in. And last, actually 2 more things. We have the actual Real Deal Meetup cruise coming up, and the cruise will be held on January the 19th to the 26th. We're going to be going to 4 fantastic port of calls. How many guys in the room already going to the cruise? Raise your hands. Okay, so we're going to be going to Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, and St. Thomas. And we're going to be leaving out of Miami. So before Miami, we usually rent a place and we have a big party there before the cruise in Miami Beach. But there's one thing you have to understand about this cruise. What happens on the cruise, stay on the cruise. Last year there was an issue with brownies, and that's all I'm going to say. Keep that in mind. So, to get information on the cruise, check with my wife. She is the travel agent extraordinaire who's handling the cruise. Plus, you can go to realdealmeetupcruise.com. Cabins start off at $586. So it's 7 nights, 8 days. So that's fantastic. Last but not least, if you guys are interested in the mastermind program, please, you got the actual form here. Give it to my wife. I'm not going to do a big picture on this. It speaks for itself. We have 2 more spots available for the mastermind. Just fill out the information here and give it to my wife at the end. Now, let's go ahead and get ready to rumble. Okay. First and foremost, tell everybody exactly how the deal came about and the point of getting the deal under contract.
Okay. Well, actually, this deal was a little unique in that Bob and I, my partner, we did not actually view the property initially. We actually found out about this deal on one of the meetups. There was another investor that had spoken with the actual homeowner, recognized that the homeowner was behind, and didn't exactly know how to work the deal.
Now, keep that in mind, guys. A lot of times people say, well, you can't find deals here, you can't find deals there. This deal was found on Meetup. So which means probably hundreds of eyes have seen it before that.
Yes. I was actually surprised when I reached out to the investor that no one had contacted him. So we immediately communicated, set up a meeting, and then we discussed how we would be able to work with the property since he couldn't work with it.
And we talked about that deal as far as how to structure it and all that kind of good stuff. So my question to you is, what was the key thing that said, okay, we're going to pull the trigger on this one?
We knew the area, and we actually had worked with Valerie in the past doing short sales, so we knew that we would have a fix to be able to at least try to get this one to the table.
Okay, let's talk about the actual purchase price that you purchased it from the wholesaler. What's that purchase price?
We didn't actually sign anything with the wholesaler. We're going to be paying them a referral fee after we actually finish the rehab. What we did initially is that we started discussions then with the actual homeowner.
So let's talk about that. So you negotiated the deal so that the wholesaler would get a delayed payment.
Correct.
Or deferred payment.
Correct.
When did the wholesaler get paid?
They get paid after we complete the rehab.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, you know.
So we're talking about no marketing, no marketing, zero money out of pocket, and they're pretty much a partner on the deal because they're investing in the fact that you close the deal, you rehab the deal, and they're gonna get X amount of dollars.
Correct.
How was you able to convince them to do that?
They're relatively new into the business, and like I said, they thought this would be a deal that they would just walk away from. So anything they're willing to get.
Okay,
they're
so-
willing to wait for it.
Not to mention that it was on the market and nobody bid it on anyway. So they were like, well, nobody's coming here, nobody's actually coming at this property.
Right.
I need to do something.
Correct.
Okay. Bob, what was your thought when you first seen this deal?
Well, I mean, we had been down the short sale path before, so I mean, we kind of knew that you know, we had to be patient with it. So you know, went on ahead with it. We knew the area that, like Sandra said. So you know, we were very excited when the deal was accepted.
So tell me a little bit about what made you say this could be a short sale about this deal.
Well, it was the seller's her situation. You know, the best thing is that, you know, she's not in the area anymore. Was behind in the payments.
How many months?
I believe more than 7 months, something like that. And she had, you know, kind of, this is the key. The property, she had divorced herself from this property.
Right.
You know, so
So there was no emotional attachment.
no emotional attachment. She was no longer in the area, so that made it a little easier.
But it was tricky. But it was a bit tricky. While the owner was no longer in the area, her brother was actually living in the property. So, you know, that prohibited us from being able to come back into the property. So we looked at the property based on the pictures from the original investor.
Now that's kind of daring
Yeah,
to go ahead and go through with the deal and not actually bid it.
yeah.
Who's your mentor? No, just I'm her mentor, so don't even go there. So
That wasn't really an issue because
Right, I know.
whatever the property looked like inside, we knew we were going to have to rehab it anyway.
Exactly.
So that wasn't really an issue.
So one of the keys you look at is worst case scenario. And that's exactly what they did. Worst case scenario, this is the actual rehab cost. Now, you knew it was 7 months behind. You knew it was ideal for short sale. Valerie comes into the picture.
Yes.
What did you think when you first saw the actual details on this one?
Okay, all right, Sandra and Bob shot me out an email, okay, with the details of the property. So first thing I had to do was pull comps, based on the information that they gave me to see if the property was actually upside down. Okay, we found out it was upside down, then our team.
Tell them what that looked like as far as being upside down.
Okay, I have a little handout here because I want to make sure we're all on the same page as to what a short sale is. So that when you're looking at properties, you'll be able to identify what a short sale is. That is when the homeowner owes more than what the property is actually worth, okay? In this case, the homeowner owes $277,000 plus, okay? If you look on public record, it says $277,000. But that did not include back payments, arrears, okay? Actually, they were, once the agent got involved and talked to the homeowner, they actually were more than a year behind, okay? So when we contact the bank, we actually get details on the property as to how far the homeowner's behind and what is the principal balance. There's 2 loans on this property. And so when there's 2 loans, you have to do a short sale with both loans, okay? So 2 loans on the property, numbers, like I said, well over $300,000 behind on the property. If you do a combination of both of the loans.
So you had those 2 variables that was there. Property was behind, maybe you had the loan situation. Now, I know you guys, the property weren't in good condition. What kind of condition was it? Fair, rental, what?
Well, when we first got in here, it was in, fair condition.
Okay.
Yeah, but prior to that, we had never been in here. And like I said, we just, thought about the worst case scenario. So we were prepared for anything. So, it was, a good surprise that it wasn't too bad.
Now, when did you get your contractor in on the process?
We got the contractor and Kenneth here, probably about 45 days out.
Kenneth, grab the mic for a second. Now, Kenneth, you came in 45 days out. You helped them with breaking down the numbers and stuff. Tell them how that process went, walking them through the properties, breaking down the numbers.
So what we did, it was actually quite challenging. I got here in the morning and I was told we couldn't go on the property. So I drove an hour and 15 minutes. I was like, what? We can't go to the property. So we went into the property. We finally got a hold of the individual that was here. Nobody was here. We got into the property. When we came into the property, I did a walkthrough. I actually have a contractor app that I use, so I can calculate all costs on site. I take measurements of tile, take measurements for drywall, for the kitchen cabinets, the LVL that's installed right there. I go through and do a detailed walkthrough. It took us, what, about 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, a little bit longer than that.
And when I was done, this is what I was asked. When can I get a quote from you? So I have it over to you today. As soon as I hit submit. Matter of fact, I think I said, hold your breath.
Give it to us before we
I
left.
said, hold your breath for a minute and check your email. So before you left, I had an estimate together, so.
Let's stop a second. That's key, guys. The key to you getting deals is first come, first serve. Because you can be beat out of deals and so on. So when you find a contractor that gives you that type of service on demand, that's a valuable asset. Extremely valuable asset. Go ahead.
And not only that, guys, the thing is, opportunity is given to those that take action. Execution is everything. So what we did after that, we put together the estimate, then we went to Home Depot, me and Bob, and we walked through there. And I used the app through Home Depot to scan the actual materials that we're going to be using, so I can put together a detailed material quote as well. Now keep in mind, there's no project out here that's perfect. If you think it's perfect, then I don't know what to say, because it is not. I have done 33 projects in the last 3 years, and not one of them went as planned. It's how you deal with those issues and come up with a solution moving forward.
Well, perfection is found in books. I'll tell you that right now. All the gurus that tell you how to do the perfect deal and so on. There is no such thing as a perfect deal. Hundreds of deals I've done. And there's no such thing as a perfect deal. So keep that in mind. Give us a sense of, Valerie, when this short sale came to be, what is that process like in your office when someone calls up and say, we have an opportunity for a short sale? What happens next?
Okay, first thing is, we're gonna evaluate that short sale and give you our suggestions and tell you what has to be done. Okay, when you send it to our office, normally from that point, after we discuss it with you, we take it from there. Okay, you should be on looking for your next deal.
That's key.
Yes.
Having somebody that is that well diverse in that strategy and strategies. And that's the key to our business. Our key to our business is systemization, automation. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. I manage what's happening. That's the key to your success. So when you have that cog and that wheel that can take over all your short sales process, it doesn't get any better than that. Now you can volumize your business. I just made up a word.
We know what you mean.
We used to that.
Oh, yeah.
You're the man scientist.
Make up all kinds of stuff. You read about that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, all right, we take it over, but we do give statuses
Right.
as to what's going on. We're gonna keep you informed as to what's going on. Now, also, we talked to you about in the beginning, we need to know what your exit strategy is. And one of the things that we're gonna do is go over that with you. This was a really good property looking at the numbers. If you look on this sheet, I give you 3 tips to profit from a short sale, to successfully profit from a short sale. And one of them is know your numbers, know your exit strategy, okay? And in this case, this really could have gone either way. It could have been wholesale for a profit of 15 to, what do I have down there? 35,000. Now, most likely, if it was wholesale, looking at the properties that were out here, the profit would have been more like that $25,000 to $30,000.
Which isn't a bad wholesale fee, is it?
That's a wholesale fee, okay? And I could have almost guaranteed that they would have got there, because we had a bank appraisal of $180,000 as is value on this property. So,
We'll go into that.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
go ahead.
Now, let's talk about the numbers. Guys, break down. What I mean by the numbers, acquisition price, rehab costs, potential profit, and so on.
The short sale was accepted at 155,
So you got the short sale at 155, so that's the purchase price, short sale 155, okay?
and the repairs are coming in around 55, 57, somewhere around there.
So 155 plus 57, that's 212, 211? Okay, 211, and the ARV is?
About 310, 315.
No, I don't think.
I know, I'm being
Yeah,
conservative.
Yeah, you're being way conservative.
You did, because I looked at the comps yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to be too conservative, we're trying to be conservative.
We're trying to be conservative.
Yeah, I
And actually,
We wanna be
we,
conservative.
we've actually heard today that, we probably, maybe we'll be able to get upwards of 340,000 for this project.
Exactly. So I think
And it-
330, what you think?
I think about that too.
Yeah, I think 330 to 340 is the actual comp on this.
Another point that's missing here.
That'd be a blessing.
Go ahead.
I don't think let's put this back together. Now, Valerie said that the homeowner was in arrears at 277,000 on one loan, and the other loan was a little more, which put her over $300,000 on this house.
So,
We got this property for $155,000.
that's what I want to say. So you got
We got a
50%.
50% discount on this property.
Discount.
That's true, thanks to Valerie and her team.
Well, Valerie got a 50%
Yes, Valerie.
discount. That's worth a hand. Worth a hand.
And my team, it's not just me, I have worked with a team of agents.
Exactly.
And, I mean, that we.
Are excellent.
That, we work on these properties and we work very diligently on getting it down to a good number, that it's, a win-win for everybody, not just for the investor, but also for that homeowner.
And talk about that. What makes it a win for the homeowner?
Well, it makes it a win for the homeowner. First of all, let me just say this. We don't ever try to force homeowners in to doing short sales.
Exactly.
Typically, a short sale is a last resort for a homeowner. They tried a loan modification, they tried to refinance, and so that short sale is their last resort. Many times we can get money for a homeowner, $3,000 up to $20,000 that the bank will approve for the homeowner. So some homeowners walk away with cash. Okay?
How's that?
How is that?
Yeah, I'm sorry to ask that question.
No, that's fine, that's a good question, because depending on the type of loan that sits on the property, some banks allow a certain amount of money. If that homeowner has an FHA loan, they can get $3,000, okay? On some of your other type of conventional loans, they can walk away with $20,000, you know, in terms of doing a, as they call it, relocation fee or short sale incentive to the seller.
That's a
Okay.
big deal, because they're just gonna walk away with
With
nothing.
With nothing. They were gonna walk away with nothing.
Make that
So,
foreclosure on their credit.
right, so that's another advantage, not having that foreclosure on their credit. Many times, after going through a short sale, within a couple of years, a homeowner can buy another house. Okay, versus having a full-blown foreclosure on the property. So these are advantages, some of the advantages to that homeowner.
Excellent.
Okay, so it's not just about us, okay? We wanna, try to put that homeowner in the best position, okay? We have to be sensitive to them, because
Right.
many times they're losing their house. In this case, it was an absentee owner, but that the brother was living here, and this was not that didn't seem to be a easy, process for him. That's one of the reasons they had problems getting in and out of this property, that it was very limited access to the property. But regardless of that, like Bob is saying, really it comes down to the numbers,
Right.
okay? And one of the things is, even though they couldn't get in initially, the agent was able to get in, okay? Because when they do the listing agreement, with those of you who are agents, you gotta see the property. Okay, so they were, the agent, Daniela Jones, was able to take pictures of the property, what she had, and give it to them. And from pictures, we can really get a good idea of to what that condition is and approximately what the, you know, repairs are. And be able to determine, you know, what the offer was.
Okay. Kenneth, in regards to the actual rehab timeframe? From the time you started to the time this project will be completed, what are we looking at?
I believe it's 63 days, but we're gonna get it done before that. I'm looking to get this thing done in the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, cabinets coming, we're putting forward throughout. And keep in mind, guys, as a contractor, like I told you, there hasn't been one project that went perfect. We've had some challenges already. We didn't expect to have concrete under here.
Right.
What I've discovered is that this window that was here has a beam going all the way across over here, which tells me that this used to be a garage. The house was originally built from that hallway back. That's why you have a half basement. So this used to be a small house. So if you look at this hole that's in there when you get a chance, don't be careful around there. You only have a 4-inch slab right here with dirt underneath. So there's always gonna be challenges. It's how we work it out. It's how we come up with a solution. But trust me, there's a solution to everything. It's just people either shut down or they allow the negativity to get to them. You gotta stay positive and work through the process.
Exactly. So, go ahead.
So we're staying positive, and we've been blessed to obviously work with Valerie and her team on this particular project. I know there was a lot of back and forth again because it was tenant occupied by the brother. There was a lot of issues that we had to deal with, but Valerie's responsive, her team is responsive, and it just made the process go smoothly. And we're pleased to be working with Kenneth. He's dealing with us, all of our questions, all of our issues, and we're getting through it. So we're looking forward to a successful rehab.
But I think the big takeaway from today should be the discount. You have to be patient with short sales. But if you're patient, you can get a substantial discount on this property. Like I said, I mean, this house, had debt of over $300,000. And like I said, we got it for $155. That should be the takeaway from today, the discount that you can get on the short sale.
How long did it take you on the short sale?
Great question.
7 months, maybe longer, 7, 8 months. We've been dealing with this. So like I said, you gotta be patient. And like Valerie said, give them the information and go on and do what you're doing for those 6 or 7 months. While this is going on in the background, you're still looking for other properties.
And Valerie, touch a little bit about that. How quickly they can be or how long they can go.
Okay. This one took a little bit longer, okay, but all of them don't take 7 months. You sent one, with, Clifford. His isn't, I don't even think his took 3 months, okay, and we already have his approval. So it really just depends. A lot of it's gonna depend on that homeowner, how cooperative they are, how quickly they get the documents into us. Also, if it's a first and a second, how many liens are on that property? Because all liens on a property have to be negotiated in order for it to close. Now, we had some issues with the short sale, which really, like I said, we don't even really get into all that with Bob and Sandra. That's our job to take care of that. For example, first and the second. First said, I'm not doing anything to the second, gives the signs off forward. Second says, I'm not doing anything to the first, gives an approval. Okay, so these are the types of things that whoever is doing your short sale have to know how to handle. And I'm telling you, they actually worked with Daniela Jones, who is the broker and my daughter, who was trained by me, and she's a barracuda. She's very serious, and she gets the job done. She gets it done. And Bob and Sandra should be commended, because you have, 3 other that they have in the pipeline right now, so. Okay.
I love real estate. Now, in this business, and I'm talking to Bob and Sandra now, what was the challenge? I mean, this is not your first year, but what made you guys decide this path of short sales is going to be a niche for us to do?
Well, I mean, I guess like a lot of people that start off investing in real estate, we started off as wholesalers, and we would wholesale properties, and sometimes we follow the properties, we would see what our profit was and what the what the rehab was, what the rehab was getting. When we get a $10,000 wholesale fee, they get a $100,000 check. So I mean, everybody wants to progress there. So I actually saw that at one of your events in the past, and liked her presentation. And like I said, I don't want to keep repeating this, but like I said, the takeaway is the discount that we got on this property. So anytime you can get a discount, that's where your profit's made. Well, we've already made money on this property. As soon as Valerie told us, you know, we got this for $155, we knew we had a winner.
Exactly. Now, go ahead, what's it? Yes.
How did you find Kenneth?
I'm all over social media.
Yeah.
Well, tell them how you found it.
We found Kenneth through the Real Deal Mastermind.
Exactly. So, one of the things we do is we vet people who I want my people to work with. I don't want my people to work with anybody that I don't think is ethical or anybody to work with. So before we recommend anybody, we'll sit down, have lunch, and see what that organization is about, see what that business is about. And that's exactly what happened with Kenneth. Me and him sat down, we had lunch. I was pleased with what I heard, so I put his information out to my members, my students. And now, how many you got? 3, 4? How many students you working with you
I
now?
got 2, but they're working on the third one. I'm actually buying a property from one that's wholesaling the deal too.
Yeah, one of my students actually wholesaled him a deal. So it's a fantastic union, but that's another key I want you guys to understand. This business is all about relationships. It's about building relationships. A relationship is the key to your success. Don't burn it. Because he has to be able to feed his people. So I understand getting the dollar down to the least amount you can, but you got to make it fair for everyone involved.
Right.
Especially when you got somebody that's giving the type of service that Captivating Change does.
Right.
Because he does a lot that a lot of contractors don't do. So I definitely appreciate him being one of our preferred contractors that we work with. Valerie's another. Same situation. I knew that she was the best person out there for short sales.
But you didn't take me yesterday.
I know I didn't take I came to the office.
Well, you didn't come to the office, but you didn't bring lunch.
You're right. I met with Akil and I met with Valerie at her office, and I said, I want you guys as part of the faculty. I said, I want you as part of the faculty of the mastermind. I want to be able to take all my mastermind students and bring them to you for all their short sales. She said, no problem. And she's been crushing it before that. But how many short sales have you done over the years?
Oh my gosh. I've been doing this for short sales. I've been an investor for 20, but I've been doing short sales, about 12, 13 years out of that. So
And you do them in different markets.
I'm doing them all over the country.
That's what I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do them all over the country, so it doesn't, once you know how to do them, you can do them anywhere and anywhere. I can't even guess how many. I've done so.
That's good. Well, the point I'm trying to make is that this business is all about relationships, and the key to relationships is cultivating them and keeping them happy. That's the key. So, like I said, she's on our team, Kenneth on our team, and a lot of other people on our team because they have that reputation that we want our students to be a part of. Any other questions? This is your questions time. Yes.
I just wanted to verify at the end, what ultimately happened to the other portion of that debt? They just eliminated it?
The debt in
Okay.
regards to the short sale.
All right. One good thing about doing the short sale versus the property going to foreclosure. If the property goes to foreclosure, there is a possibility that the bank can come back to after the homeowner for the additional debt. Okay? So versus doing the short sale, in most cases, the bank waives it. And they actually get that in writing, that additional debt will be waived.
Okay.
Okay, it's put it in the short sale approval letter.
Oh, I see.
Someone else? Yes.
Bob, how did you find this property? I missed that.
We got this property through a property scout. And he basically, told us about the property. We met with him, and we got the information from, about the owner, spoke to the owner, figured out it would be a great candidate for a short sale, and sent the information over to Valerie and her team.
Ms. Ballard, how is your team compensated for your work?
Okay, great question. My team.
He has to get paid.
Got to get paid, because we work hard on these. Okay. Real estate agent is paid by the bank. Okay, so that's how the real estate agent is paid. We are actually paid we call it a transaction facilitation fee. Okay,
Consulting fee.
A consulting fee.
And
No. You have to, it has to be paid by the buyer,
exactly. And what we've arranged with Valerie, and I'm not gonna go into the numbers, is that when my students bring her deals, they don't have to compensate her until the short sale is done.
Right.
So, I mean, think about it. You know it's going to be approved, you know you got the numbers, then you make that payment. And that's how we work with her in the mastermind.
Yeah, and the payment's well worth it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This one is looking like, I mean, conservatively, after all closing costs, it's like $110,000, $120,000.
Conservatively.
Great.
Conservative, right? Conservative. We're happy to be conservative.
I know, okay.
We'll be elated, but.
Right, and as far as Valerie and her fee, I mean, that's inconsequential because, I mean, it wouldn't happen without her. So,
Right.
that's not an issue.
Exactly.
So your fee doesn't go on the HUD one?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Does
ask.
the fee go
My
on the HUD
fee
one?
can go on the HUD one,
Okay.
on the buyer's side,
Right.
yes, absolutely.
In this particular instance, though, we just paid Valerie.
They didn't want it
Outside
on
of
the
that.
HUD.
I mean, but it can go on the, it just, this one it didn't, but it can.
You and then you. Go ahead.
Valerie, do you personally negotiate with the bank?
Do you personally negotiate with the bank?
Okay, my staff and I do, okay, my staff and I do.
Like we
Most
said,
likely, it's going to be, the agent, okay, because they're trained by me.
right. And like we said earlier, this is completely done for you service. Turn the deal over to her based on her criteria, and then they just take control and run with it. Now, you gotta stay in contact, because there's other things, and we're gonna go into that, there's other things that you may have to get from the seller, and making sure that the actual seller stays involved in the process. But this is truly a done-for-you process, where you turn it over, and then let the expert do the work.
Wait a minute, Charles, one
Go
minute,
ahead.
no. After you turn it over to us, there should be no contact anymore with the seller.
No, I'm not talking about the seller, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
You them contacting Rob or something.
Right, I'm gonna be your liaison
Right.
between everybody, okay?
Two questions. First, is there any way you can learn to be a short sales specialist like yourself? Second question, aren't short sales kind of drying up now?
Okay.
Great.
Great question. Great question. Number, first question, is there any way you can learn? I do offer classes, okay, through the REI Success Center, and I'll pass you my card. Second thing is, there are not as many short sales, but just so you will know, Maryland is still number 3 in terms of foreclosures throughout the United States, okay? And I'm sorry, I'm being corrected, number 2. They're number 2 throughout the United States in terms of short sales. This is a very good area for short sales, okay? Not just that, for those of you who do DC, a lot of properties in DC go to foreclosure because a lot of people aren't doing those, aren't getting to those homeowners and doing short sales. Also, once you learn how to do it, you can do it all over the country, okay? We're in other markets. Okay.
Okay. Kenneth, give people a breakdown of what the draw schedule look like on this in regards to what work is being done and so on, how many draws it is, scope of work and such.
Yeah, so we got a total of 5 draws. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Some of the issues that I have on these projects is the flow of capital. Okay, so it's very important that this flow of the capital keeps us moving because the people have to be paid. There's a lot of people involved in the project. So the total of 5 draws. I actually prefer 3, but I can go as much as 5 to 6. It just slows us down a little bit, but actually with the lender they're using, it's going pretty smooth. So we've already been through 2 draws already. By the end of next week, we'll go to a 3rd. And like I said, I'm looking to push this thing and get it done in 2 weeks.
So keep this in mind, lender extremely important, because they're gonna dictate how that draw schedule flows. And they're gonna dictate exactly what needs to be done in order to receive the draw for the draw schedule. The lender on this project is one that a lot of my mastermind students is using. The company is called Pimlico Funding. fantastic company to work with. If you go to the website, Meetup, on the Real Deal Meetup website, you'll see their information, Chemical Funding Group. We got a number of deals going through with them, and they got deep pockets. And they don't have any junk fees. You don't have to worry about coming out fee for this, appraisal fee for this. It's just straightforward.
One more thing, guys. If any of you decide to work with me personally, just like I told you, I work with them. We met at Home Depot, edit the project. I've also helped them with the scope of work and draw schedule. So the beauty of it is I understand the whole aspect of the business. I told you guys I'm a contractor, wholesaler, and a flipper. So I will help you guys for those that need help. Along the way, obviously, I keep getting busier and busier. It will help if you have a scope of work together once we meet, because I can look at that scope of work and I know exactly what I need to go on my numbers for.
The key to this process is the fact that Kenneth is acting as the project manager as well as the contractor. So there's opportunities where you guys may be working with one or the other, or that person may be handling both tasks. It's up to you to decide how you want to handle that. We have our own project manager on all our rehabs. So we basically manage the process. And no matter who you have in that process, do not let anyone bully you through the process, regardless of if they're the project manager or whatever. That person works for you. So they need to understand that they work for you, and work needs to be done at the time in which the actual scope states it should be done, and at the completion and at the actual, in the level of excellence that the scope maintained that it should be done. So that's one of the things I see a lot of investors get bogged down with when they hire people to do work. They let that person boss them around because of the lack of knowledge. Don't let anyone boss you around. I won't let my students get bossed around, and I don't want any of you guys to let the contractor boss you around and dictate the actual job to the point where you feel as though you have no say. You're paying the bills, you have all the say.
Can banks refuse to do a short sale and just do an auction?
Great question. The question is, can banks refuse to do a short sale and just do an auction? I'm gonna let you take it, I'll take it as well.
Oh, absolutely, they can, but we've gotten this kind of down to a science that when you send us something, we're screening it. And if we don't think that we can get a short sale done, we're not gonna take it. Okay, but a bank can refuse it. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm just gonna put a lowball offer into the bank. Those are the ones that are gonna get refused. You gotta know what type of offers to put into the bank so that your offer can be accepted, okay? And how to package that, and also if your offer is not accepted, how to dispute it to get it accepted.
Now, I know every situation is different, but give them some type of, this is a good example of what a good opportunity for a short sale property looks like. What are those characteristics of a property that looks like it's a good candidate for a short sale?
Okay, this property. Can I go over this?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Look, I wrote up this property, okay? And I really think this to me was an ideal short sale, okay? Textbook case. Homeowner owes more than what is worth. I told you that they owed over $300,000 on this, on this property, okay? The as-is value of this property, okay, was $170 to $190. Okay, homeowner owes over $300, but the as-is value before anything was done to this house was $170 to $190.